Hey guys, Career Blind Wife. I'm Jake.
I'm Jen.
And we're here with a review for Predator Badlands. If you have not seen this movie, this is going to be a spoiler review. So go and check out our spoiler-free review that should be up somewhere on the channel. And then when you go see it, come back and watch this one because it was real good.
I really like this.
It was real good.
I didn't think I would like it as much as I did, as I said in the spoiler-free. Mm-hmm. And I feel bad for doubting Dan. And I really enjoyed Predator Badlands.
What's interesting to me is, and I said this to you as we were getting out, this almost feels like a fantasy movie. Mm-hmm. This feels like an adventure, like a fantasy adventure movie, where you're in a world of monsters and you're trying to go, avenge your brother from the dragon or whatever thing.
There was like a dragon in this,
kind of. And like this movie is super condensed and concentrated on, what do we have, like 3 actors? Really, if you count Quay and father, it's 5.
Yeah.
Because you've got Quay, who is the brother that trained him and was going to send him on a hunt even though he wasn't supposed to. You've got the father. You've got Dek. You got Thia and Tessa. And then you've got the drone synths.
Yeah. Which were all one actor.
Yeah. It was all one actor, just duplicated.
So a very small cast, yeah.
Yeah, super small cast, super condensed, and like one actor pulled double duty with 2 roles. Like the father had maybe like 6 lines. Mm-hmm. So, and then there were some other Yautjas for an action scene.
Yeah.
And the background ones probably were just CGI. So really it all it's kind of bold to have Yautja be a main character because their face doesn't emote the same way as ours. The whole thing's in subtitles, so it's a bold swing. But I really liked having a predator as our protagonist and seeing what happens when you're a predator that doesn't get to be part of their society like normal.
I do think it's an interesting choice that this is our first Predator movie, and correct me if I'm wrong, that we are focusing on the Predator this way.
No, I mean it is. It's the first Predator movie. This is technically the first named Predator.
And that we chose to follow a Predator that was considered weak enough to cull. Yeah. So we're following his story and not like our traditional Predator from the first few films where it's just straight on Predator for the hunt.
Well, I think the only way it works is if you do a runt, mm-hmm. Because I think if you do any other Predator, your main character becomes robotic and doesn't have enough personality. I mm-hmm. think because he's a runt is the only reason we can have any kind of character growth out of him.
I think that's how a human connects, and the human is the audience.
Yeah. So, having him be a runt that. They said he saved his brother, mm-hmm. and that's why he messed his fang. So that indebted him to his brother who saved him from his dad, and that is our first actual sign of real personality from predators, other than sticking to their very strict rules of strength rules everything and. There is no room for weakness, and the things we identify as weakness we call.
Yes.
So I think the only way we get something, because a main character isn't really interesting if they have no negatives.
Yeah.
If they have no weakness.
But it does make me think, how many predators are there that have this weakness, if you want to call it that, in them? Because the brother, he felt indebted to him, but there was still care there. And would that have still been there if he had not saved his life? We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, just because their society has lasted as long as it has, probably not. Because their society has maintained this idea of strength and culling weakness. It probably isn't frequently that stuff like this happens. This is an anomaly, and that's why it's a story worth telling. Which
I really enjoyed. And though you say it's hard for a predator to be the main because they don't emote easily. I think is his name Demetrius that played Dek did pretty well with the CG. What would you call that, masking or?
Well, he did really like. So he's the Predator, but the Predator's entire face is CG. Mm-hmm. I don't think there was really any of it that was practical for the face. I think their mouth is too difficult.
Oh yeah, that was way
to communicate that way. But he did an incredible job with all of the physical acting.
Do we
with
know
his
if they
body
use
language.
like motion cap?
Probably not for the face because it's again just so different from the human face that it just would not move and act like a human face. I mean, I could be wrong, but he still was in the suit. He still did all the physical stuff.
I enjoyed it. I think
so he all of his acting was like here down, and all of his movements had intentionality, and they showed like moments of weakness and like.
I think his eyes were really great too.
Yeah, they probably were able to mocap like this part of his face, mm-hmm. and like keep track of like maybe not mocap, but just have like facial capture to where they would take his eyebrows and just like exaggerate what he did because their eyebrows are so much bigger. They probably did that with him, which was all really good. It's just the mouth that I don't think would really be too much captured, but they might have a way to do it. And then Elle Fanning got to pull double duty with polar opposites of Tessa and Thia, where they were both designed to be different synths that have emotions, and they were supposed to have emotions to manipulate, but Thia ended up having feelings and like caring for these things, where Tessa kept with the original programming, which I wonder if part of why Tessa changed was because she got damaged.
Damaged or threatened.
Thia, not Tessa.
Sorry.
Thia, like.
Well, I think they said it enough that they raised their sensitivity up so that they could manipulate the creatures around them so that they can learn about them and capture them or whatever. But I just think, like, if you don't have a guard on that, then you're going to learn to care. And her whole thing was curiosity, which is, like, the main thing of science, right? And she just had this curiosity and this earning. It almost felt childlike, which I loved.
Yeah, it was wonder.
It was wonder, yes. It was wonder that she had for everything. And I think if there's no guard on it, like it was on Tessa, which when they brought her back, you could kind of see it go up where they're like, if you don't fix this, you're like out. We're going to like decommission you.
Yeah, but I don't know if I believe that like that changed anything for her. It was just a thing of like, this is the reality of you failed this and you need to go back and go out there and do it.
Yeah, and I think that resets her a little bit.
Maybe. But I mean, Thia also was like, hey,
because
they got that when they brought her back in, were bringing her back in of like, you know, we're still on mission and this is how we complete our mission. But she already had too many feelings for Dek.
And like when they were waking up Tess, like the first words that she was repeating was Thia, 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 Thia. Where's Thia?
Well, yeah, but that was also the last memory she had before she was destroyed. Mm-hmm. So maybe that she just got reset, or Thia, you know, went with it so long without connecting and. But
I also think it's survival instinct, even for a synth.
Yeah.
To be I got to overcorrect this.
I think you go either way, of like Thia, like didn't have safeguards and went that way, or she was damaged and it let the guards go. But either way, like Elle Fanning got to really, like she got to play the robotic Tessa, who was a badass and was made to like fight and survive, and the wondrous like playful Thia, who gets to be half a body most of the movie and ask all of her nerdy questions to a Yautja for the first time.
Yeah. Who she had been studying. She said it was like one of her favorite?
I think so.
One of her favorite things to learn about, because apparently it wasn't the first Yautja that came to this planet to kill this specific species.
Yeah, I mean, they know about it, and they know to be afraid of it for a reason.
Yeah.
Because nobody comes back. And we see why, because it's not something that is easy to kill.
Speaking of fanning, real quick, I'm a huge fan of the Fanning sisters, and like they're from Conyers, Georgia, where I went to high school, and so they're like a little known, like they're celebrities down there. So I love Elle Fanning, and I think she did so good in this.
Yeah. I mean, as far as like story goes, it's simple but very effective. In that we're trying to take like a very rough species that is we don't know a lot, and we're trying to give some kind of reason why this super hunter we would care about it, and then we do that by putting it on a planet where it's not the top dog anymore. You know, but he has to like endure, because the only thing keeping him going is he needs to get this hunt done to honor his brother and then avenge his brother by assumingly killing his father was the plan the whole time.
I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe? I think so. He says so, because he says revenge.
Yeah.
He says revenge early in the movie.
I think he just wanted to be part of the clan, but you're right. I think killing the dad might have been a part of that.
Yeah, I think that was the plan the whole time. It was just, was it with after he came back and was welcomed back because he killed it and then he challenged his dad, or what we got, which was his dad was the actual hunt. His dad was the trophy. Yeah, we get an interesting thing of like, he has to be convinced to let Thea along because she's a tool. She's not something that's actually helping him.
I love that he was able to convince himself, like, yeah, I can take her because she's just a tool. She's nothing else. And we're allowed to use tools because that's all they have is tools. And that's the inroads to caring. You know, as you spend time with a thing. Anytime you spend time with a certain thing, you know, a new type of person or a new, like an animal you've never been around or anything, even if you're super hesitant and don't want it, the chance of you caring about that thing over an amount of time is almost a guarantee to a certain extent, you know, unless something terrible does wrong. And I love the introductory period of like her just talking. He allows it. And then finally he makes this thing, puts her on the back. He's like, okay, just talk that way now. Yeah. And it's great.
I do wish he had answered some of those questions because like she specifically asked how old he was. And that's one of the questions I always have about predators, is because like their lifespan, because you see some of the skulls they have and you're like, how long have they been doing this? Did this get passed down? Because there's like a T-Rex looking skull on Quay's ship.
You would notice that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a giant skull. It was one of the biggest skulls on the ship. So, but yeah, her just asking also tells us that like, yes, the audience doesn't know a lot about these things, but even in the future, humanity still doesn't know enough about them, even though, assumingly, Predator 1, like all the Predator movies are still canon and happen, so they've been coming to Earth and stealing people from Earth, and we still don't know a lot of these things about them. You know, the questions even unanswered are giving us information about the world, and you don't even realize it until you're like, oh, wait, yeah, she's a synth, and her specialty is like other species, and she doesn't know all this stuff.
Yeah. I love that she kept on asking, and what are you called?
Yeah.
And what are you called?
What do I call you? What do I call you? And then this Skull Island-ass planet where everything is out to kill you was so much fun.
It was. The tree, the tree, how does that work?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it just branches? Is it roots? Is it roots and branches?
Is it one thing? Or is it a bunch of different things?
At a moment when it was the lemon, when she talked about the big thing, she's like, we better be careful up here because there's a...
Oh, the tree bug.
The tree bug, lemon bug? I don't know why I have lemon in my head. It's probably not even lemon.
It's not lemon, but it's some kind of bug.
And so when it started having its like tentacles, it's like, is that it? No.
Yeah.
It was something else. But like the tree thing was interesting.
The bone buffalo, with the giant, almost like blade front that opened up for its mouth while it was in the blade grass that Dek couldn't even go into is really, really crazy. And then we see Bud, which is an interesting little thing that can like harden his body to like roll through this blade grass and then harden his body enough to crack the tooth of this thing.
Yeah. He just jumped in there to save them? Bud's a she. Or at least Thia thought it was a she.
I guess Thia did think that.
Thia did say she at one point, but I don't know. What does she know?
Yeah.
She's got half a body. No. Yeah, there was a moment where like they're competing over the buffalo, but then when the lemon bud plant, I don't know why I keep on calling it lemon, it's not a lemon. The plant, he saves him? She saves him?
Well, they saved Bud as well.
That's true, they did save Bud prior. That could be it. And Bud immediately had that connection. Because Bud's lost.
Or which one saved one? I think Bud saved them first. And then they cut the tree down and saved Bud. Because that's when he killed the thing.
But I love that because I was in my mind for a split second was like, why is he still going after it? Duh, he's a fucking predator. Yeah, he's gonna try to kill that thing no matter what.
Yeah, he's gonna hunt the things, and he needed food. He's talking about needing food,
and he was hungry. And that buffalo looked tasty to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was also tempting. Sorry, that it was. What did they go to the planet for? Skrillex?
No, it was not the dubstep artist Skrillex. Man, I'm blanking on its name now.
Yeah, well, the fact that that's what it feeds on, I think also enticed Dek to be like, I'm gonna feed on that too then.
Well, yeah, he said that. He's like, if that's its food, then it's my food. And then, we have a little bit more of traveling when he leaves Bud. And we get to the destroyed section of all the synths. And we find out that Thia really wasn't going to take him to the Kylith.
There's no S in front of that creature's name.
No. And, like, she manipulated him, but she wasn't going to let him. She was just, like, forcing him away because, like, he had no... She's like, you have no chance.
Yeah.
And I love watching her get repaired so that she could go back while he's fighting, and trying to survive against this thing that he called to him that makes a lot of sense why it's the unkillable, because it can regenerate from damn near everything.
Taking its head off. It connected its head back to its body.
Which, that was interesting, though, because when Dek cut his stomach, or I guess the stomach doesn't matter, but when he cut off the tail, it just grew a new tail, but it did not grow a new head. It reattached to the head. I'm assuming
because brain.
Yeah. Something around that is important enough that it has to reattach.
And I love that we see that, and immediately I was like, oh, no wonder even the father is
afraid to hunt this. Which, nobody comes to Genna, which Genna, I believe, like, probably is some kind of reference to one of the circles of hell. Oh. Because Genna is, I believe, one of the circles in hell in, like, Dante's Inferno. So it's a hell planet that literally kills people. Then we get, Tessa gets taken away, or Thia gets taken away by Tessa with the predator, and I really liked them trying to, like, get information from Dek and Thia and Dek speaking in Yautja to help get him away.
Which the whole movie she spoke. I love that little device at the beginning of the movie when she's like finding his language. She's like, oh shoot, you're Yautja. Speaks Yautja. Look, I'm speaking Yautja, but to everyone else it's English, which then as the audience who's listening in English, we hear it in English, and I love that. So then to have this purpose flip later in the movie where they're speaking Yautja so that the other synth can't understand, I love that too.
Yeah.
And the toy, I also thought it was a little funny at the beginning of the movie. He was like, you kept this toy? And I'm like, what's a predator doing with a toy? Which then, I think a lot of things came back from the beginning of the movie. Like, all the creatures he saw, I kept on thinking, oh, that one's coming back. That one's coming back. They all came back. Mm-hmm. And the toy came back, too. And he's like, tell him it's a map. But it's a toy.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, what is it going to be? It's going to be something dangerous or deadly or, like, blow up in some weird way. I did not expect it to blow its head off completely.
And then Thia having the, like, that's a toy?
Yeah.
That was great.
Yautja toy.
Yautja toy.
Which there was like a decent amount of comedy, like for a Predator movie, a lot of comedy that like really worked. And I liked where like Dek made a joke, but like not really.
Yeah.
Like that's the extent of where like Yautja humor goes, which is like barely off center.
Yeah.
But then we got the cool thing of him like, because one of the things that I like, I enjoy Predators because they're the ultimate like predator. But one of the things I've always thought about is like, well, yeah, you guys are badass because like you can go invisible. You have a plasma gun. Your swords are plasma, so they can cut through anything. Like, are you really the best hunter if your technology is that much better, or you really just have the best tools? He has no tools. So we get to see him gear up with the things naturally on the planet that he used before. And he looked so cool with his self-made bone buffalo helmet and his little like slither eel thing that he fed.
Oh yeah.
That was his little like...
his little friend.
It was like a plasma caster that was just an organic plasma caster that spit acid.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about it like that because he didn't have that tool anymore because Tessa had it, right?
Yeah.
So
he didn't have it the whole movie.
Yeah.
He never had his plasma... I don't think he technically was supposed to have one.
Yeah, that was all his brothers, I believe.
Yeah. So almost everything on that ship was Quay's. Yeah, he looked so fucking cool.
He looked real cool. I loved it.
Yeah. And I loved that, like, everything, not only the animals, but, like, the blade grass became, like, his whip.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It took me a while because he had the whip at one point, and I'm like, what is at the end of the whip? And then you see it, and it's the glass. Like, that's badass.
Yeah. So, it's one of the, it's the thing of, like, okay, this is why they become, not only, like, they have the tech and they have the training, but they know how to make the best out of everything around them to make weapons to be the best hunters. And it like reaffirmed things of like, if you take these things away from a predator, yeah, they're still stronger than a person and faster, but like they're creative and they're use what's around them and they can make the best tools they can.
Or is he the one able to do that because he was the weakest one?
I think that's probably a thing that they all can do.
Okay.
Because like that's how you like at one point in Yautja history they had to learn how to do that to get where they are, and like young bloods to become like blooded, they are sent with less gear and they get more, which
that's
is why
true.
when he gets when he gets finishes his first hunt he is expecting the cloak.
The cloak.
You know, you earn your tools in the society. It's just we've always seen them with the invisibility and all of this stuff to do it. And he had all of that stripped away to where he was just the runt, and only the runt could do what he could do, and got to see it in all its glory of what equipment he can put together, the traps he put together with the bugs attached to the plants.
Yeah.
That spread out. You know, he make the makeshift blade from the tooth of the thing, and it was so cool. And Bud got to tear apart some synths too.
Yeah, Bud just had fun. When he took the arm and just waved the arm. That was funny. I loved it.
And then one of my favorite action scenes was Thia's with her legs.
Her half body.
Yeah. Like, it's such an interesting thing to have to choreograph that when you're like, I only have legs over here. I only have a torso over here. How do I get this to work? And the interaction and the swapping and like the different movements each of them can do was so interesting and fun to watch and dynamic.
Yeah.
You do wonder why they're better, two halves are better than two full synths. But,
yeah.
You know, they already have established that Thia and Tessa are special synths.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't think about it too much.
Because they just really wanted to be united, and these two synths were keeping them apart.
Yeah, they did. It did. Yeah, and like at one point much earlier in the film than the actual review, I looked at you and I went, "Oh, Bud's the baby Kalisk." I was like, "Oh, that's what it is."
It took me. I think you whispered it, but it really took because Bud had spit on him earlier.
Yeah,
and him and the big one was fighting. And when it had him pinned down, it sniffed, like it kind of felt like it was sniffing him. I was like, oh, the spit. And then it hit me what you said. I was like, oh, it is.
Yeah, and then you saw Bud in the footprint of the adult Kalisk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get to, we get Tessa, or we kill Tessa after she's in her... we basically get to recreate the aliens fight at the end where... I'm blanking on her name. Sigourney Weaver's character... Ripley. She got to use the loader in a fight. At the end of this, we got a loader at the end of the fight. Against the ultimate alien.
It felt like that, yeah.
And, we got to watch that fun fight. Unfortunately, the Kalisk died, but we killed Tessa and we get to, we got our trophy.
Our trophy.
And we can go home.
Also, the first half of the movie, or maybe 3/4 of the movie, you have this new Predator movie. But then at the end, when he's getting his tools, it turns into a classic Predator movie.
Yeah.
And I love that moment. I was like, oh, we're getting Predator now.
Yeah. We get to watch him hunt.
We watch him hunt.
He's getting to hunt. Because a lot of the movie he didn't get that because he's on a planet that's as deadly as him. Mm-hmm. He still triumphs everything, but he gets saved a couple times. But in that part of the movie, we got to watch him truly hunt with new tools.
Yeah.
Not fancy tools, but new tools.
So I really love that. And I love that Tessa was a trophy. I love that he referenced that. He was like, you'll get we're going to give Bud his mother back, but I'm getting my trophy.
Yeah. Which, he took Tessa's skull back to Yautja Prime, but I was like, that's not the trophy. The dad, that whole time, well, as soon as he said, we're going to get its mother back and I'm going to get my trophy, I'm like, okay. The dad's the trophy.
You think the dad's the trophy?
The dad's the trophy.
That's
so
good.
The fight with Dek and the two Predators was really fun, and especially him killing both of them at the same time with the spear.
With the spear,
But then I liked watching the father and Dek fight, because the father pretty heavily beat Quay when Quay and Dek were close to even in their fight. Mm-hmm. And Quay did well enough to the father had to use his stealth, and we got to see the father use his stealth, but Dek was ready for it.
Yes.
Yes. Made sure that the stealth didn't overwhelm him. And I don't know if you caught it. His blades, I believe they were the ice blades.
Yeah, I think they were the ice blades.
But he also, he did the same thing to his dad, but not as exaggerated, where when Quay went to punch his dad, the dad put his claws through Quay's fist when he was invisible. Dek did the same thing at one point to the father, where he caught him like that and caught the tool he used, that he was the capture tool. And I could not believe the dad was like, do you yield, when he was caught. And nobody brought in. I was like, the fucking gall on this man.
The Predators.
You just got beat by your runt son that got sent off planet, and you're asking him to yield? Crazy. I mean, that's their civilization. Crazy, man.
And I love Dek was like, nah.
Nah. And then his skull became Dek's trophy because his pack got it.
Yeah.
And Dek gets to be the
wolf. I love when he said, the whole wolf thing, by the way. But I love when he said, you could be, they don't call it pack, they call it clan. You could be part of the clan. He's like, I got my own clan.
Yeah, I've got my own clan.
And then, murks his dad. And
Bud murks his dad.
Oh.
Bud bites his head off.
Yeah, Bud did bite his head off.
I was expecting Bud to spit out the skull so he still had a trophy, but Bud just ate it.
You know what? Bud deserved it.
That's fine. Yeah.
Bud earned it. But the whole wolf thing, Thia explaining, a wolf pack and the alpha to Dek earlier, and then, it resonating with him so that he brings it up during him being a predator scene with the synths. And then at the end, it was emotional. It affected me, and I liked it.
Yeah, and it's also a good thing to show to people where, alpha has become kind of a problematic thing in the way that a lot of people treat it. And, it's not about being, the baddest or the single,
The one with the most skills.
Yeah, it's the one who protects.
The one that protects.
And that's, Because there's a lot of story, like a lot of Predator stuff is like masculinity. Like the first Predator movie is a hyper masculine movie, and it's, you know, how these hyper masculine men are, you know, going down in these ways, and we're bringing in a thing of like what a lot of masculinity revolves around right now is this alpha idea, and we're taking that and we're going what a true alpha does. One, that they don't call themselves an alpha, and two, and what they do is they protect those around them, and that's what they should do. And it changes, like, he still is a hunter. It's just he's realizing there's other ways to hunt, and there's other tools and methods to do it, and his way to do it is with a clan that hunts together that you take care of. Instead of culling weakness, you cultivate it and use it to be your strengths. And then we end on sequel territory of Mom's back.
Yeah, but we both were like...
that ship was there. I was like...
We were all like, Killer of Killers?
Is that... I forget their two names, but it was the samurai and the mechanic. I was like, is that them?
Is that
is this where they ended up after running away in Killer of Killers? Is that them? Oh, please be them. Please be them. But he says mother.
But he doesn't know.
Yeah, the sequel could be whatever.
Know. It could be them. It's Dan fucking with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Just other quick things. I love the music. They used the Who a couple times, which is a Mongolian like throat singing band. Really, really cool. They're just good for sci-fi movies, for outworldly things, because they feel so outworldly.
And tribal.
What?
And tribal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the creatures were super interesting and unique. The planet was interesting.
Do you have a favorite creature?
Probably the bone buffalo.
I like the tree.
We didn't even see all the tree. It was just tendrils.
It's so cool. And then a tree got like its payback later. Like when it... Oh, it is like a branch, right? Because only a little bit fit in that little box.
It looked like it went back more, but yeah.
Could be.
I don't know. They got part of it.
That was so cool. And then the little, like, slithery snake.
The eel things.
Eel.
Yeah,
slug.
That will do whatever for food. I guess that's my one complaint, is when Tessa was shooting him with the thing. I felt nothing when that thing.
Oh, when it...
Yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to feel anything. Dek finally felt something.
Yeah, but
for another thing.
He had it for like a couple of hours, and like, I don't know why it would do that.
Food is a heavy motivator.
Yeah, but food only... It's dead. It's jumping into its death.
It didn't... You know, I have no explanation.
That's the only thing I'm like, oh, okay. Whatever. Yeah, do you have any other thoughts?
I love Bud. I just love Bud.
Bud was very fun. Just copying everybody. Oh my God, when Thea was in with the coat, and he's like, we're going to kill the creature, right? And she's like, what creature? And he's in there with another raincoat. Fucking killed me, dude.
And she turns around and it's just Bud.
Yeah.
I love Bud when Dek was getting ready for bed. And Bud just cloned everything.
Was copying. And
copying everything.
So Dek tried to do a thing to where Bud couldn't copy it.
But
then he did it with the stick.
He did it with the stick and
Dek's
the fire. Like, it was like these moments of like comedy that just fit but didn't fit but fit so perfectly. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, that's all I have.
And spitting. I am a huge hater of spit in anything. I hate spit so much. I think it's the most disrespectful thing you could do to somebody. Spit on somebody. This movie made me love spitting.
All right, guys, that's all we got for this review. If you liked it and you want to see us do more of these, let us know in the comments what we should do next. We got a lot more coming up in November and December, so hopefully we get to do a bunch more of these.
And tell us if you want the guys to react to this.
And that too, because they should.
They really should.